7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oops, wrong one. Pete's not here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Pete's not here. This is all going to pot today because I didn't set this one up to automatically switch over. So give me 1 second. I'll have to find John now. I found John. Where you at, John? I call 1. Call 3. There we are.
Hey, I'm back, guys.
There we go. Now we're set. That automatically switches over when it hits the end of that video, and I forgot I didn't change it to the new layout since Pete's not here, and it's just a couple of wild and crazy Cylons tonight. So we're having a good time.
We should have fun.
Should have a lot of fun.
A lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs. We can make fun of the Colonials and all the stuff there. So we got a couple people online. David is there out there. Bert's out there. We're getting a number of people, and I got to look at the right. There we go. Wow. So hello, everybody. Welcome to IFB.
Hey, guys.
Interfleet Broadcasting. Your sci-fi, pop culture, cool toys, everything that you could possibly think of back from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We don't pick a particular thing, but we do love our Battlestar Galactica. So we are Galactica Nuts. There are... so we can say hello to the Galactica Nuts. We can say hello to the V people. How about those runners?
Space.
Logan runners. Yeah, runner. Space 1999. Yep. There's all
Planet
of
the
those
Apes people.
Yep. Planet of the Apes people. That's it. There's everybody out there. Our show concentrates mainly on the fandoms of those people, those places, because the fans are what really do everything in regards to carrying on a fandom. It's great that these people create stuff and things like that, but it's really the fans who keep the fandom going. And then they also create their own stuff. So we'll find out a little bit more about that tonight. But it's the writers, it's the people behind the camera, it's even the caterers, if you really want to look at it that way. When we did our film, it was just, hey, they needed to eat. Somebody had to go out and get the food. So there's all those people who go into something like that, and it's not just those people in front of the camera. It's all those people behind the camera as well. And it's all those fans out there that we really like a lot, which reminds me, John's going to talk for a second while I go get my beer because I left it.
I got my beer.
Over there.
I had
So
quite
I'm
the
gonna put
adventure
John
bringing
on
my
for a
beer
second.
out.
Give me 1 second, John. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing? They finally let me come out and do a co-host. I hope I'm doing pretty good. Those 5 beers I had really get my courage going. So I'm a little loose now. That's my usually shy self, but it's good. But yes, we do like sci-fi. We like the people that bring sci-fi here, the creators, the ones that have the vision to show it, and people keep following it. So that's what we do. It and enjoy it, and we'll have to bring you guys some good news and good shows. We have a pretty good show tonight. Got a nice director coming on. He's pretty cool, and we'll have a couple of laughs. So there's no stuffy colonial people here. It's all Cylons rules. So we have our oil ready, and we're ready to go. Yeah.
We got Paul Rotter on, Kathleen, Robert Baum, our unofficial fact checker. Let's see, Chuck's on. Bang, yeah, off to the great start. Mediocre modeler's out there.
Nice.
He's been a co-host once or twice. We chased some major squirrels with him. So
it's good laughs too.
Oh yeah. So what are you drinking tonight, John?
Well, I went out and me and my son went out and got some beer, and
Which
got
one
the
you got?
experience. I got a New Belgium. Ooh, where am I got New Belgium triple from Asheville, North Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Belgian ale. So I was gonna get Dragon's Milk, but I figured I get this. I try this one out.
Dragon's Milk's good too. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a good
tonight Pete's not here, so I don't have to
Ah.
play lightweight anymore. So I'm going with the good
Yeah.
stuff. Ready?
Well, this one's gonna knock me out. Holy cow! Well, how much is? Ooh, okay.
How much is
That's
it?
always good alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like 8 something. 8.5.
Oh, it's horrible.
Woo!
Yeah, Chris is
I
going
don't
all
fall
out
out of my.
tonight because Pete's not here, and I don't have to be a lightweight. So,
Oh, oh.
I'm going to do my favorite rum.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
All right, ready to open? Or did you already open?
Nope, already open.
All right, hang on. Nice noise.
There we go.
I'm gonna pour this out, and you know what? Mine looks like rum.
Got the old grog out. Oh, nice. Oh,
A healthy pour.
nice head. Nice little head on that. I got some more. Smells pretty good.
Chuck's like, now that will make you tipsy. No, I'll be pretty good. I'll feel okay. Pete's not here. I have to water down the beer. I have to get the beers with the lowest alcohol content for Pete. Don't spill it on your keyboard. Don't do a Pete.
No, it's my new computer now. I don't
Oh, it's a
know
laptop. Yeah, it's even worse.
Yep.
Georgie in the house.
Minions.
So yeah,
The minions
Pete's
are
not
here watching me.
Pete was unable to join us tonight because of a family problem. So if everybody keep Pete in your thoughts and prayers if you do those kind of things. So he's dealing with some issues with his parents. So one of his parents, I should say. So I'll leave it at that. If he wants to talk any more about that, he can. But we all get older, unfortunately, and things, things happen. That's all I can say for that. So, anyways, we always start our show off with a toast, and we always toast to the fans because, once again, they are the ones that are amazing people, and they go buy the tickets, and they go read the books, and then they create fan fiction, and they create movies, and they create everything. So it's really everybody who's usually in a movie is a fan of something, whether they're an actor or whatever. So usually sometimes it's just a job for them, but we all know that fans feel the fleet. So here's to all the fans out there. Fans feel the fleet.
That's to you, fans.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh. What's your percentage?
It's a pretty strong punch.
What's your percentage over there?
Oh, 8.5. Holy cow.
Yeah, I think mine's mine's 32 proof, 35 proof.
Oh. Yeah, I've had that. That's actually that was my last shot of the night drinks.
It's the nightcap drink. I'll be here in a minute. So, but anyhow,
That's always good. You need a nice drink to like rock yourself to sleep.
Yeah, we got
spin around the room
on.
for a while.
Kathleen's on. Yep, Kathleen says dragon's milk is good. I like I like the dragon's milk. And of course, if you're going to Dragon Con, like most of us are, they announced. Boy, I just honest, I haven't been drinking before the show started. They just announced that the Monk's Meadery has got their new dragons. They do a dragon mead every year, so they got a new mead coming out. And you can order that online if you just want to feel the Dragon Con experience. Now, once again, we're not making any money on that, but it's just kind of cool. It's kind of neat that your own con has a freaking alcohol.
So you can walk around the con drinking mead all day?
Dude,
I've never known that.
I made fun of Pete because we went to New York Comic Con. And I'm like, okay, Pete, where's the alcohol carts?
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
But you guys have alcohol?
Wait, you don't have alcohol? No, you can buy a beer over there. And I'm like, okay, where's the alcohol carts? And he's like, no, they don't do that here. What about, and then Awesome Con, same way. He's like, where's the booze? He's like, no, not there either.
So there's an
Dragon
actual cart
Con,
that walks around?
No, Dragon Con, every hotel has carts in the lobby that you buy alcohol off of, and pizza and food and everything else. And you can walk around the con with alcohol from your room if you're in one of the host hotels, and But I can say it's a very fun crowd, and it gets a little rowdy at night, but I have never seen a major involvement with the police. It's a really good crowd. You know, some guys get drunk and have a good time, but that kind of just what it does. That's Dragon Con. So, and yes,
Something
Paul,
for me to look
Dragon
forward
Con
to.
is very soon. I don't know how many days we've got left there. Bring a sack of wine, says Kathleen. Oh, they also have at Dragon Con they do a pie contest. So pie is a mix your own alcohol to taste like a apple pie or a whatever. Yeah, it's.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Oh yeah. Well,
It really hits you at the end.
yeah, there are people walking around with Jello shots. So I mean, it just depends on what time of the night. Usually runs around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. All the alcohol carts come out, and then it's party on till whenever. Panels are still going at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Holy cow!
Yeah, you can go watch a movie at 2 o'clock in the morning in one of the rooms. So they have movies. They do. And speaking of movies, we'll be showing some stuff tonight. But yeah, they have movies. They have if you want to go watch a new Crunchyroll anime that's coming out, they'll have it there. It's pretty neat. It's an experience. But like I said, unfortunately, all these people that are going this year better start saving up for next year because it's just addicting. I went once.
Yeah,
I think I started. I started once in 2016, and I haven't missed one since.
Oh. This would be my first one, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, you're first. You're a Dragon Con virgin.
Yes, I need to be Dragon.
Not quite a con virgin, but a Dragon Con virgin. So, but it's wild, and it's not as corporate as some of the others. It's all fan run. But I digress. We could sit here and talk Dragon Con all day, and I know everybody's like, we've got a bunch of people going, and need Saga of a Star World on the reel. Yeah, actually, that's Paul. I actually bought the rights to play Saga of a Star World at the it wasn't Awesome Con. What was the one that got canceled? One I went to in Texas. But anyways, I bought the rights to show it in Texas, and we never showed it. I should probably contact them back. I paid $150 to play it there, so I should see if I can play it at another location since I bought the rights. Because you're not supposed to play movies without the rights.
The rights, yep.
So, anyhow, so who do we got tonight? Let's see. We have got just about everybody.
Wow.
Paul, Kathleen, Lola. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
Wow. Yeah, Mini Yokomada's. He's working on like 5 models. I want to see some of those models. I want to see the. We have the Planet 8 model. Looks pretty good. Looks like the old 70s models he's working on.
Does he have one of those? I tried one of those in the 70s with. It was trash by the time I got done with it. Yeah. Once again, Chris doesn't paint figurines or anything else very well. Unless you can spray paint it one color, then I'm good. One color spray paint, no problem. Oh.
I used to paint the 15 millimeter, 25 millimeter figures when I used to paint when I used to do a war game. So not anymore. I need to get bigger. So
all right. So tonight we have Jonathan. I'm gonna on. He has got a number of videos and movies that he's done, and we're gonna actually have the ability to play some of those videos online. So we'll be able to watch some of the trailers, and we'll talk to him about his newest thing, his newest movie, as soon as I can move him over, because this is just throwing me for a loop. Because here we go. Now I got him. Let's see if I can get the audio to work now. Check. Nope. Oh, hang on. I knew it. I had to redo all of this stuff because Pete wasn't coming on, and I have it all set up to automatically come on when it comes on for Pete. So it is always a challenge. Now you got it. Now we're good.
Here we go.
There we go. Look at that.
There we go. My angelic voice is coming through.
Hello.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming on. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. As soon as the invitation came through, I jumped on it right away.
Yeah,
Thank
John
you.
reached out to you. Yeah. John's our guy who runs around and grabs all these people for us.
Yeah, John, I'm like that little kid on the bench who just wants to participate, just like the little kid who just wants to get in the game. So as soon as my number was up, I came running.
We're happy to have you on. It's enjoyable. We just like we said, we promote fandoms and different types of sci-fi, and we like to introduce it to our viewers and everyone else. So yeah, welcome aboard. We got some
Yeah, I
questions for you.
appreciate
We
what
got a
you
good
guys
time.
do. I
Thank
appreciate.
you.
I watched some of your episodes. I appreciate how you uplift the genre as a whole, both as creators and as fans, and everything that you're talking about, from films and movies to even some comic books and some toys in there too.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate how you have love for it all.
Oh,
Well, that's for sure.
yeah.
It's all one big fandom, all big one thing. So
Yeah, it's always, you bring out a toy and everyone's like, "Oh, I remember that," and go from there to movies and comics, and it's great. So everyone enjoys it. Everyone jumps into it. So
so what's
it's
your
surprising.
favorite? There we go. There's a first start off.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do science fiction? What inspired you to do
man.
science fiction?
I mean, there's so much that I love, but I think if I had to choose one, maybe fandom that I really appreciate that gets me excited, it would be Stargate. Because as an author writing my novels, I feel like the blank page for me is almost like a Stargate. Like anything could happen. Anything could be on the other side
Right.
as I start working on my novels, because I don't outline. I know a lot of authors will have, pages and pages of outline, and if that's their thing, that's what they need to do. I think that's great. But just for me, my personal process is I don't outline. I just go where the story takes me. So I almost feel like I'm walking it through, a portal, and I have no idea what's going to be on the other side.
Yeah, I was just looking
I
at
like
a
that.
couple of your Galactic Guardians.
Oh, right. So Galactic Guardians is our current series. So 6 books are out and ready to be read, and the 7th will be dropping in January.
And audiobooks.
Yep, we're into everything from
Hell yeah.
ebooks, paperbacks, audiobooks. We have
Wow.
merchandise, comic books. I think films
Comic
now.
books?
I think the only thing
You have
that I
comic
haven't
books?
done, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wrote a comic book called Intrepid. So we're waiting now. It's already finished and it's with the printer, and we're just waiting now for the printer to fulfill that first big order and send the comic books to our publisher.
That's interesting. We
that
don't
is
meet a lot of authors that do all of that.
Mm.
I mean,
It's I would say it's definitely not healthy or sane. I don't consider myself a sane person. So yeah, I definitely would not recommend. Like I just pinched a nerve last week. I don't know have you guys ever had to pinch a nerve before?
oh yeah. Next.
Oh yeah.
Definitely would not recommend.
Yeah.
So I went to the chiropractor, starting to get, he's like, how much do you stretch? He's like, how stressed are you? Like, how much do you work? So I think you need to take, maybe use some of that time now, instead of telling these crazy stories, to actually do, some stretching and some self-care in there too.
Oof. Nice.
So did
Definitely,
you? Go ahead, John.
That's definitely a work of love. You go through all the pain and everything else, and getting all that stuff out here. It's a lot of work. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the shirt. Is that part of the merchandise?
Which one?
Sure.
The shirt you're wearing, is that the merchandise you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. So this is our logo, actually. Our company logo is the wolf. So everybody who's part of our pack on Facebook knows that the wolf is our logo. And the reason that we decided to go with the wolf is because, kind of like what you guys are talking about, it's the fans. The wolves thrive in a community. It's not just one wolf doing it alone. It's a whole pack accomplishing things together.
Oh,
so
that's
we kind
cool.
of took that mentality,
Cool.
for our group. And I always tell our readers and everybody who's supporting us, like, I'm just a gladiator in the arena. The only reason I'm able to continue doing what I do is because everybody else in the arena is giving me a thumbs up. So with their
That's
support,
awesome.
I'm able to continue work.
And that's a really cool support group too. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's unique.
Wow. Yeah, they keep you going. That's awesome.
So tell us about your movies. So we've got a couple of movies.
Yeah, so I was writing novels for 11 years, and we thought, like, hey, having a publishing company and writing, and raising a family with 2 little ones isn't hard enough. Why don't we start doing movies?
Why not?
How hard could it be, right, guys? That phrase, Chris and John, has got me in more trouble than I can remember. How hard can it be? And it ends up being actually pretty hard.
Pretty hard. Hasn't your wife wrote some stuff with you?
Yeah, so we worked on one series together. It's called Gateway to the Galaxy. So it's kind of, it is Stargate meets the Green Lantern Corps.
Mm-hmm.
So merging those two fandoms together. So we have a hero named Frank Wolf, who's pretty much like a Tony Stark. He's a weapons manufacturer. He's just delivering the weapons to the team who's going to go through the gate. He doesn't want to go through the gate. He's just picking up his paycheck. And they're like, hey, we need you to come with us in case any of this tech goes wrong. And he's like, no, thank you. Unsubscribe. I'm done with that. And they're like, well, what if we tripled? What if we quadrupled what you're going to get paid? And he's like, okay, sign me up. So he goes in through the gate with them. And then all kinds of hilarity and shenanigans and action-packed drama ensues.
And your wife helped you write this. That's cool. Is she a big sci-fi fan as well?
Cool.
Yeah, even before we met, she was huge into Star Wars and video games and just a fan of, kind of like you guys, right? Not a fan of just kind of like one IP or one fandom, but I mean everything from Doctor Who that we love watching together to Firefly. Ah,
yes. Now you're talking my language.
Firefly.
Yep. I'm just finishing up the latest audio book on that one.
Yeah.
I have to get your
There's a new comic book coming out too, Firefly too.
Yep. So
and plus the remake they keep saying they're doing Disney.
Yep.
So we're still waiting on that. But that's pretty cool.
That's not right, is it? Infinity System?
Yeah, Infinity System. So going back, we decided to not just do publishing books or comic books or anything like that, but get into film. So we started getting into film about 3 years ago now. Infinity System was our first project that we kickstarted because all our community, our pack, was asking like, hey, we love these books, but when are we going to start getting, TVs and TV shows and movies from you? So I'm like, hey, if you guys kickstarted, I'll start making you content. So they showed up and kickstarted it, and we filmed our first pilot episode, Infinity System, and then now that's gone on to win multiple awards in the film circuit. We got an agent and entertainment lawyer who are pitching it, and so with Infinity System going off kind of like on a good path to getting picked up and distributed, we started to work on our next project, which is Forsaken Mercenary.
Wow. Forsaken Mercenary is pretty cool. I was watching that the other night. I like that. So that's got a good bring to it. So, I mean, can you tell us a little about? I mean, which one's your favorite project you've done so far? Which one do you want to keep continuing and that really get you going? I mean, it's like.
Oh man, that's a good question, and I have the same answer all the time. The most exciting project that I'm working on has to be the one that I'm working on now, or else I feel like I have a big issue, right? Because if I'm working on one project, I'm not super excited and all in 100% dialed in, and my mind's thinking like, oh, I'd rather be working on something else, then I feel like the readers and the consumers are going to feel that. So I have to be all guns blazing on whatever I'm working on at this point. So right now we're working on taking Forsaken Mercenary to the big screen. So right now it's all in on Forsaken Mercenary.
100%. Wow.
I think I have the trailer for that. For your, give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. So with the Infinity System, there's a minute trailer that we could watch, and then also there's the full pilot episode that we put out on YouTube. So the full pilot episode. What's that?
Yep. I was trying to pull it.
Oh, no worries. If you just go to YouTube and put in Infinity System trailer, it should pop up. There you go. It's the second one there.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me get the audio switched over. Can you hear the audio?
No, there we go.
Stand by.
I know what you are. No memory after the crash. Feeling a little lost and out of place.
I know what you are. And there's only one way to deal with fellas like you.
Out here at the edge of the galaxy, time is kind of a strange thing.
You get in my way, and I will restart your timeline. Nothing personal.
Pretty hard not to be offended when everyone I met out here wants to kill me.
Wait, where are you going?
Get some answers from a friendly neighborhood sheriff.
He wonders every single day.
And stay out of trouble, stranger. You'll find you live longer out here.
To me, it's just a nightmare that needs waking up from.
This isn't the end. He'll be back.
This isn't the end.
Cool.
Cool.
That's cool.
Cool.
Thanks. It was a fun project to work on, and it's easy for me to brag about it because I feel like it was very, very little to do with me. Maybe like 1% me, and then 99% the team that came together to make it happen. From the director and the actors and the cinematographer and everybody lending their talents to make it so good now.
And that's key. Like, you have good actors, good crew, good director, and the cinematography there is really cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I was about to say
good
that.
shots. Really good shots.
I geek out over the camera stuff. What camera are they using? What lens is that? How much money did they spend on that thing?
And that's why it's easy for me to brag about it, because I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing to do with that. All I did is I wrote some words on the script, and then they took it. But it was cool to see, because writing a book, writing a novel is such a soul project, right? Just me and the computer. And then going to film, that film is such a collaborative effort. And it was really cool to see at each stage the actors were making the words that I wrote better, and then the cinematographer was making the scenes that I imagined. The director was working to make everything better at every level. It just kept on getting elevated. It was really cool to see.
What was what did you do? And were you like, what would have been your title on the set? So were you like executive producer? What were you doing? So if you weren't filming and the audio guy and then there's actors and and you wrote the script, didn't you want to get? Because I wrote our script and I just I was directing, thank God. Otherwise, I would have been like, no, it's not what I had in mind. No, that's. I want this camera shot. I mean, you trying to take over the whole thing. So, what was your involvement when you started shooting after writing it?
Right. So so after it was written, I was on set as a producer, which basically meant like anything that needed to get done, we figured out how to get it done. So as a producer, I was one day taking Starbucks orders from the crew, boost morale, get everybody highly caffeinated and happy, keep everybody happy. From day one on the set, I told them like, listen, my only job here is to make sure that everybody can perform at 110%. So if we don't have snacks that you guys want, let me know. I'll get you snacks. If we don't have the right energy drinks you guys want. And they asked, they're like, hey, well, we really like Red Bull. I made sure there was Red Bull there the next day. At night, we took them out to dinner. Because I just wanted to make sure that they knew that we cared for them, and that anything that I could do to make sure to bring out the best in them, I was willing to do. Because they would tell me stories of working on other sets where, lunch was literally like cold pizza.
Yep.
Somebody would just pay for pizza to be delivered there, and it was delivered there too early or something. That hours later, they're finally getting their lunch break, and it's just cold pizza. So we make sure we had like everybody catered and taken care of, and everybody knew that we valued them on set. And that was my role there. And so to answer your question even further, Chris, when we were actually shooting, I didn't want to be in the area. I didn't want to hear my own words that I had written read back to me, not because they were not doing a good job, and not because it's not what I envisioned, but I'm so hard on myself as a creator. Mm-hmm. I would hear them say something, I'm thinking to myself like, oh, maybe I could have done that, tightened that up.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So I kind of just removed myself from the whole filming process.
Yeah. Like almost a plot. It could be a plot hole there if this was there.
Yes.
Maybe I should do this instead. I need to answer those questions.
Right, like he said.
All these more phrases or a different scene.
Yes, exactly like that. He said "so" 2 sentences back to back. I should have changed that up when I was writing it. Stuff like that. So stuff like nobody else would notice. Nobody else would notice, and nobody else would care. But
right.
Since I was so close to it, I noticed everything.
So how close were you with your script? Were you like, you have to be, these are the words you have to say, or were you a little loose with the actors the way they could say, hey, yeah, that works, or hey, I really feel the character would say this. Some of the actors would come up to us and do that, and I was like, well, yeah, you're probably right. How tight were you with your script in regards to the filming? Were you like, no, you have to say these words, or were you more along the lines like, yeah, you can ad lib a little bit, I'm okay with that, or that kind of thing?
Right. I was lucky to be in the position where the director had collaborated on the script with me. We had came up with the idea, and then I went ahead and wrote it, and then he did another pass on it, tweaking things here and there. So I kind of let him take the lead on that. For me personally, I'm a big believer in giving people the freedom to do what they do best. So if an actor comes up and, they've been doing it for like 10 or 20 years. So one of the actresses, here's a good example. One of the actresses on our set, she plays a character, Doc. Her name is Johanna Watts. She was in Star Trek. So she was in Star Trek for many seasons. So I knew she knew what she was doing. So if she came and said, hey, what if we say it a little bit like this? Or what happens if, I had a different inflection in my tone? I would tell her to go for it, right? Because I'm not the trained actor who's had, years and years and years and decades of experience. I'm just some guy with a crazy idea about making a film.
And do you look back on the scene like, you know what? It is what I like that. It does work.
Yeah. No, it does. So there's one scene where we have our crazy old prospector Jeb talking to our hero, and he's like, "Let me pour you some nitro calf." So he pours him some something to drink in the cup, and we see the hero drink some. And in the script, he's just supposed to drink it, but our actor thought it would be funny if he drank it and then grimaced and then just kind of like spit it out, let it fall out of his mouth back into the cup. So that wasn't in the script at all, but it worked perfectly, and it's gotten tons of laughs every time it gets shown.
And then the location.
I like that old liner.
And the location is just amazing.
Yeah, again, nothing that I will take credit for, so I'll brag on it. It had nothing to do with me. It just was our team of like the director and the cinematographer working together, knowing kind of like in their minds what they wanted it to look like. And then the film scenes we filmed at White Horse Ranch in Landers, California. There's the Trona Pinnacles. I don't know if you are familiar with Star Trek and Planet of the Apes, but one of the Star Trek movies was filmed at Trona Pinnacles, and so was Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. So we got to film there as well, which is really cool.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We got some little couple behind the scenes stuff. Whoops, wrong way. That was
it was fun.
Weeks ago.
It was a fun project to work on.
I mean, your actors, do you use these guys a lot, these actors, or just everyone has like a regular crew that does these shows together, and
you go backstage?
Work on your project?
How'd you get your actors backstage, or?
Yeah, so actually we were supposed to have a casting director. So we were going to have a casting director just cast the actors for us, but that fell through at the last minute. So we did, in fact, use backstage. So went backstage, and there's so many talented and hungry actors out there willing to work for our for the villain in the series, Jake. There was 1,400 people who submitted to play that one role. 1,400.
Wow.
So yeah, you can imagine going through 1,400. So it was myself, my wife, who was the other executive producer, and then our director, the three of us, going through and like picking our, like top 5. So we'd get it down to 15, and then having them do, a second reading of a different section of the script to finally get it down to our one actor.
There must be a lot of tough decisions.
Yeah, I feel so bad, guys. Like I feel so bad because I know what it's like, right? Like I know what it's like to want something to keep on auditioning for it. And then, you're at the will of somebody else to give you that yes or that no. Like, I understand it's the process and actors are used to it, but I wanted it for them all. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could hire all of them and get them all on set.
No, I like that actor. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, what's cool about his name's Christian Howard. Christian Howard was actually played the role of Ken Masters in Street Fighter. That's where I knew him from.
Okay.
So when I saw him audition for our role, I was like, Ken Masters, he's in. He's hired. He actually wanted to play the role of the villain. He auditioned first to play the villain. I was like, no, Ken Masters, you're our hero.
The villain looks pretty interesting too. He looks pretty fun. I like the old miner guy too.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that they're all professional actors, so they all have credits in other
IMDb,
films.
yeah.
So there was a Netflix movie called The Harder They Fall, and I remembered Jake, our villain, from his name's Tory B. Lawrence in real life. I remembered him from The Harder They Fall, and I was like, oh, there he is right there. And I was like, oh, we've got to get him in. And he was it was cool to work with them not only as actors, but you know how like when you see an actor that you like on film, at least for me, I hope in my mind I'm like, oh, I hope they're actually really good people and cool people in real life. And that happened to us where all our actors were actually, really cool people, always looking to help and try to see what they can do to help elevate the project.
You had said something.
It's also
earlier.
pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, you had said something earlier. How much was it a day for filming?
Yeah, so we filmed for 5 days, and if we just use like a rough number, it was roughly around, $10,000 a day that was going into locations, that was going to actors, that was going into our crew, that was going into camera rentals, light rentals, insurance. We were a SAG-approved production.
Mm-hmm.
So getting insurance to be able to shoot out these locations.
Yep.
Here's a fun fact about being an executive producer, boys and girls. So at the western town where we shot, they didn't want us to use their plumbing, right? Because they have old plumbing, and we're going to bring 60 people between extras and cast and crew and everybody there. So I had to get on the phone and find out what porta potties could be delivered to White Horse Ranch. So anybody's thinking that executive producer's life is glamorous, not really. I was coordinating porta potties being delivered on set for us one day, and then taking Starbucks orders the next day.
Wow.
And then you're talking about camera rentals and everything else. Where are you shooting with? Those aren't Reds, are they?
You know what's funny? I'm not even going to lie to you. I have no idea. I'm like a lost child in a department store when you ask me about cameras. I don't know. I actually should get an answer to that though, because you're not the first person who's asked. I should ask our cinematographer what we shot with.
I was just curious. And then you shot in 4K or?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe. Definitely maybe. I'm not one of those guys. You know how some people will just like pretend they know the answer, and there's like, oh yeah. I'm just going to be honest with you. For better or for worse, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can tell a story. I know that I can tell a story, and I know I could put together a team and be a good team player. Past that, I have no idea with angles and cameras and lenses and lights. I just leave that to the professionals.
Oh my gosh, I geek out. It's like cameras we're using.
Like, how do you shoot that?
When I wrote our screenplay, I wrote a director's script, so I put down all of the stuff that they were supposed to say, but also put down all the camera angles and shots and everything inside of it. Right. Cut to this and go over here, and it didn't. That's kind of what we went overboard really when it came down to the script. But yeah,
I'd love to look into your mind, Chris, if I could somehow, without hurting you, just like slice it open and look at it, because my brain doesn't work like that. My brain, like I could tell the story, but I don't have the side of my brain that will let me like, okay, this shot is going to come from this angle, and then this is the scene that's going to play, and then we're going to transition to a wide shot with these 3 characters talking, and then we're going to move to, I can't do that. It hurts my soul.
I see
Chris.
The pictures in my mind.
Yeah. That's a gift. That's a gift that you definitely have. Because it is. Not everybody has that.
Because when I write a script, they're like, no, that's not a script. What do you mean it's not a script? I says, it's a script. I says, yeah, but you've got all the camera angles and everything listed in it. I'm like, but that's what I want. I want a close up on the dagger as they're pulling it out, and then I want to cut to this before they, when they say this, and they're like, you're confusing the difference between a screenwriter and a director. Those are not supposed to go together.
To have both.
Yeah, it's not. You can't go. Those are not supposed to go together.
Brain.
I like the shots where we're telling a story and they go from different shots. Like, a guy from the far shot and they're talking about, I got to kill this guy. And like, okay. And then different type of shots of where they're going to stand and how they're going to do. I think a lot of the shots and the photography really gets you into the story too. Like, okay. And just by seeing it,
no,
it's like
100%.
It pulls you in, it pulls you in.
It's an art.
Yeah. And that's, that's what I like about it. You know, the actor's fine, but I like the shots, where to stand, where you're going to stop, and that's pretty cool.
And then you get the sound guy and the lighting guy, and
yep, sound guy. No.
Yeah,
You
and
got
it's
the
not
big guy to
usually.
hold
I mean,
the
as you
boom.
know, it's not just usually like one person. It's like a team of people
No, it's a
that
lot
are
of
moving the
teams,
lights, and a team of people who are moving the cameras, and a team of people who are doing hair and makeup. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much hair and makeup works on set. It didn't
Really?
had never crossed my mind, right? Because you imagine like an actor has to sit in the hair and makeup chair, and then they have their scenes,
Right.
but then that's it, right? Like they get to take a break. They're sitting down in between their scenes. The camera's being repositioned or whatever, so they're not working. Or a hair and makeup is nonstop go, right? Because depending on how many you have, if they have to touch up all the extras, they're always having somebody in their seat. If they have to get, different actors ready for their scenes, they always have somebody they're working on in their seat. And if they don't have somebody in the trailer that they're currently working with, they're on set touching up actors in between shots.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
no
pretty- and plus the wardrobe.
downtime.
It's like a huge fluid motion, between that wardrobe has to work in a cinch. Oh my God,
Yes.
it dripped. How's it gonna work? Let me fix this up, and boom, boom, boom. You're like, holy cow! I just
Yes.
let the guys work and just fill my vision, do what you got to do, and okay, I enjoy the finished project. But it's just fun to see.
Yeah.
It's just like wow, I don't know how to do. And just like stand there, like holy
Yeah. It's amazing. Like, I'm amazed. Like on our biggest day, we only had 60 people on set. We had one big day with all the extras. But other days, there was, 30, 40 people on set. I can't even fathom. I can't imagine movies like Lord of the Rings.
Oh
or
my
like
gosh,
Braveheart,
you'd imagine?
where there's thousands and thousands of people on set. I can't even comprehend that.
Just the logistics alone. Like, oof.
Yes, exactly.
Imagine managing that,
I heard
that
a
crowd,
story.
directing.
I heard a story with Mel Gibson when he was shooting Braveheart, that it was way back in the day where he had on the outskirts of filming like a big battle scene, he was on an ATV and he had a radio, and he would ride the ATV
Here's
from
why he
camera
wasn't
to
losing.
camera to make sure that all the shots were what he wanted. And I was like, I can't even imagine Mel Gibson dressed up as a Braveheart on an ATV, riding from one camera where it's stationed, for the fight scene. Okay, that looks good. Yes, let's keep it here. Getting on his ATV, riding to the next camera that's set up to make sure he has the right angles for the big fight scene coming. That's so wild.
Wow.
Actor directors, those are amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, writer directors, Chris, you keep on selling yourself short. I feel like writer directors are amazing people because whatever that is in my mind that can direct, I don't have it. I just have the writing part.
I just
think it shows. I think
I've
if
watched
you're-
too many movies, evidently, and said, in this movie, I would have seen this happen, and I would have seen that happen. I've seen the body eject out of the airlock at this point, and then when it ejects out, you want to see it spinning, and you want to, that's cool stuff. And you have a Kickstarter still?
That's right. So Infinity System is already filmed. You can watch the first episode on YouTube. We have an agent and an entertainment lawyer shopping it, so it's in a good place. It's just going through the motions. But in the meantime, it's not really in my nature to slow down, which I probably should. But it's not really in my nature to stop working, right? So I'm like, okay, what are we going to do next? So I have written my best-selling series. It's called Forsaken Mercenary. Basically, it's like Total Recall meets Jason Bourne. We have a guy who heals quickly and he fights really well, but he doesn't know why. Then characters from his past start reaching out, and they're like, hey, you're not this nice guy you think you are. We know that you're an animal. We know what you've done. So then he has to kind of like delve into the past of who he was and then get torn between going back and being that guy or trying to be better. So Forsaken Mercy, best-selling book series, has done really well. We've sold 250,000 copies of that series. So we decided, hey, for our next IP, because Infinity System was an original idea. It doesn't exist as a book. Right. So Forsaken Mercenary exists as books. We're like, hey, let's do Forsaken Mercenary. So our Kickstarter, I think, has like 6 or 7 days left. We've already raised the funds that we need to film. So anything extra is just going to help with the quality. Maybe, an extra CGI scene. We'll see a dropship in there or something. But we're funding that now. We plan to shoot in October.
Awesome. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and play your Kickstarter video here.
Wow.
Please. Thank you.
So we can have everybody kind of get an idea. Hopefully the audio comes through. Let me know if it doesn't.
This is my wife, Jennifer. We have something exciting to share with you.
We've been working to bring a new project to the big screen. Something fresh, full of thrills and imagination.
With your help, we wrote and produced our first film, Infinity System. Because of the amazing work from the entire cast and crew, Infinity System has gone on to win multiple awards and earn representation by some of the best agents and entertainment lawyers in the business.
And because raising a family, publishing books, and producing one film wasn't enough, we've decided to do it again. Here's more about our latest film, Forsaken Mercenary, and what you can do to help us get it to you or the sci-fi thriller fan in your life.
Forsaken Mercenary is a best-selling book series loved by readers around the globe. It follows the story of Daniel Hunt, a man running from who he was. It explores the idea that your past doesn't have to define who you are today, with a heavy dose of action and conspiracies along the way.
We know the real world can be dark and heavy at times, so it's our mission to tell stories of hope and family redemption. We promise with us you'll find good old-fashioned action adventure with characters you can root for.
And we think you're going to love Forsaken Mercenary. We'd like you to be a part of this journey with us at any reward tier that makes sense for you. Thank you, and see you at work.
So that is your thing. Let me pull it up here. There we go.
That's the Kickstarter.
That's the Kickstarter. So
Mercenary.
you are 137 backers and 24,408 out of a 20,000 goal. That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's amazing.
This time around,
Wow.
we were talking earlier about always learning, right? Always learning whatever you do. So this time around, Infinity System, we shot, it was a 33-minute pilot. We've come to learn now that a lot of studios and a lot of film festivals only really expect a 15-minute short. A 15-minute short helps fit into the traditional film festival template. So with Forsaken Mercenary, we're going to shoot a 15-minute short as opposed to a 30-minute pilot to get into more film festivals that are, genre appropriate for sci-fi. And then also, I think overall, it will give us more money to work with in a 15-minute window versus a 33-minute window.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Wow. I mean, and when you're going to start shooting in October?
Yes. So the plan is we'd shoot the last week of October, and then we'll probably be a good 3 or 4 months into post-production. So maybe February, we'd be able to have a product that we can start showing around different film festivals.
Cool. And this is going to be, are you going to put it on YouTube, like Infinity, or is this going to be a movie?
So this one, again, just kind of like learning. So guys, you kind of know me well enough now. Like, I'm not going to toot my own horn. 3 years ago, I knew nothing. I didn't even know. This is not a joke. It's going to sound like a joke, John and Chris. I didn't know what a cinematographer was 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. No. I thought, you could have told me we were talking about the cinematographer. You could have just been like the Pizza Palooza. And I'd be like, okay, what's that? Just the same thing, right? Like, cinematographer, what is that? So we've learned so much in these last 3 years. And one of the things that we've learned as we're building our team of agents and entertainment lawyers, we now have an entertainment lawyer who has all the connections with the big studios. So he has the connections with the Netflixes and the Paramounts and the Lionsgates. So I told him, I had a meeting with him at Comic-Con just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, this is what we're doing with Forsaken Mercenary. It's going to be 15 minutes. Do you have the resources to then take this 15-minute short and get it in front of a Apple Plus or a Netflix to get picked up? And he said yes. So our plan with Forsaken Mercy now is kind of twofold. We still want to go the film festival route, but now we actually have somebody on our team in our corner who has the connections where he can then put it in front of the right people to get picked up.
That's
awesome.
Something I've never. I'm sure Pete might have, but I've never heard of an entertainment person. It's an entertainment lawyer, or I've never heard of that. That's kind of. I'm gonna have to look that stuff up because now you know more than I do on that one because I don't know anything.
Wow.
I was like,
so there's different
lawyers. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. So there's different people. So again, remember, just a couple years ago. So let me think, what month am I in right now? We're in August. So a year ago, I didn't even have an agent or an entertainment lawyer. I had a lawyer, and he was the one that told me, he's like, hey, I can help you do the paperwork on this. He's like, but what you really need is an entertainment lawyer, because an entertainment lawyer has worked on books and film and IP. That's what they specialize in. He's like, so I could definitely help you out, but I won't have the same connections as a specific entertainment lawyer who's been in the industry doing this for decades. So now we have an entertainment lawyer who's willing to go to bat for us and understands what we're doing and has the right connections.
Yeah, Robert Baum says Heather Graham played an aspiring entertainment lawyer in the film Swingers. I don't think I've seen that one either. I have to go watch the film so I understand what an entertainment lawyer is. Let Hollywood teach me. There we go.
Yeah, and as you guys know, with the actors' strike and with the writers' strike, things have slowed down in Hollywood. So we've hit a speed bump, but I have to believe in the best. Have faith that it's all going to work out for the actors and writers, and that we'll get back on track.
Yeah, but I think was it SAG-AFTRA came out with a thing that said, hey, we highly encourage you to go to those independent film people that are doing things now. So they're SAG-AFTRA's like, go get those people over there, because they're not the ones that are messing you over. They're the ones that they want to get you up on film and everything else. So I thought that was kind of unique, because we were really worried about having some of our actors show up at Comic-Con for our micro budget SAG-AFTRA. I was like, oh my gosh, they're not gonna be able to show up or whatever else. And then they came out with that thing. I was like, no, independents are good to go. So I was like, wow, that's cool. But
I think that's super cool.
Yeah, the Netflix and everything else.
Right. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation, because when I was at Comic-Con a few weeks ago, people were asking me, they're like, well, you don't support the actors and you don't support WGA. How are you going to, move ahead with your production? And obviously they don't have any idea what they're talking about. I'm like, no. SAG-AFTRA is, having their issues with the major studios.
Right.
They're not having issues with small independent films. Like we're working together. We were a SAG project for Infinity System. We're going to be a SAG project again for Forsaken Mercenary. Like, we want to support these actors and these creators. And with what you're saying, Chris, is like, I always try to look for opportunities. So maybe there's an opportunity with actors maybe who would normally just be busy or maybe not interested in working with a small independent studio. But now, since they're not able right now to work with the large ones, maybe they'll be able to work with us.
Right. I mean, maybe they probably still won't be affordable, but
yeah, that's another conversation.
But hey, Mel Gibson's available. He's not doing a movie right now. How much is Mel Gibson? Oh no, that's nope, that's not happening. All right, well, what about Melanie Gibson or somebody? Somebody nobody has ever heard of. You're good to go. So
it's twice removed second cousin.
Yeah.
Here's a good price.
How about Arnold?
But you still have a lot of good actors.
Yeah. How about Arnold? Is he available? So you write books too. You've written screenplays. Wow. You write books. It's amazing. So what started this whole thing? At what point in time, grade school, high school, what point in time did you sit there and say, I want to write a story. I want to do something?
It started with a love of reading stories. Not that I necessarily wanted to write stories, but I just love stories in any format. Like, I can remember going to the library and picking up, books of like King Arthur, Robin Hood, the comic book rack. I can still picture they would have like one of those spinning racks full of comic books. And I would get, stories of like Batman and the Flash. And I would reread them over and over and over again. And my love for stories, just thinking like what I could do with stories, how could I make a living off stories, turned into writing. So I went to college and graduated with my English degree. But I'm going to be very careful what I say here. I don't regret going to college and getting an English degree, but I probably would have been wiser. Hindsight, right? Knowing what I know now, I probably would have been wiser of just, started writing, practicing your craft of writing. Like, you can't learn how to drive a parked car. The car has to be going. You got to learn along the way.
I like that. That's a good...
So got, thousands and thousands of dollars in debt for an English degree that I never used. But right out of college, my dad's like, hey, we paid for half your college. You paid for half. That was the deal. Now we're not going to support you anymore. Time to, spread your wings, little bird. Time for you to fly. So
I hope you fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I love my dad and my mom. They did the right thing for me. I'm glad that they did that. So I'm on my own. I need money. So I started working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Nothing to do with my major. I just needed money. I needed somebody to hire me.
Right.
There's this thing called food, and people get hungry apparently every day.
It's that living indoors and eating thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that.
If I didn't want to, I wouldn't work if I didn't want to live indoors and eat. That's
right. So I started working at Enterprise. 5 years in, I realized, like, what am I doing with my life? I don't love this, right? I mean, not knocking anybody who loves renting cars. I'm happy for you if you're happy doing it. But for me personally, it's just not what I wanted to do. So I finally came to a breaking point, guys, where I just quit. It was like Jerry Maguire, but nobody followed me when I quit. So I just quit one day, and I just said, "This, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm not happy. My soul's leaving my body every day. I'm dying. I need to write. I need to figure out this writing thing." And one thing that I would not recommend, guys, is doing this and not telling your wife.
Oh,
so
no.
I did not tell my wife when I quit, and she stayed with me and she supported me
as
I was starting. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Hey, hon, how you doing today? How was work? I quit.
I quit. So have you guys heard of that saying, burn your boats? Like basically put your back against the wall?
Yep. Make sure you can't turn
job.
around and go back.
That's right. I burned my boats. I cashed in my 401k to give me some money in the meantime to support myself. So I started writing full time, and I worked as a personal trainer at a gym part time just to help bring in some money. So I spent a good 5 years of just falling on my face. I'm not very smart, if you guys haven't figured that out already. I'm consistent, and I'll show up, and I won't give up, but I'm not very smart. So just year after year, just like making all the mistakes, but then learning from mistakes and making new mistakes, but then learning from those and making more.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that's what I came up with. So after about 5 years of writing novels, we finally started getting a fan base, and people started believing in us and seeing what we were doing. But now, fast forward, 11 years from when I first quit my job. Now my wife was able to leave her job, and she works for our company now. We're able to work from home with our kids. Our kids are homeschooled, so we're all here together on this crazy adventure. We're going to Comic-Con panels. Like, that was something that was super weird. Like, I remember growing up and thinking like Comic-Con was this like golden altar that maybe if I was lucky one day I might approach. On bended knee. I remember watching like YouTube videos of my Comic-Con panels that I wanted to see, what the Comic-Con panel was like. And then all of a sudden this last year, we were invited to be on a panel. We had a booth. Amazing. I got interviewed for a magazine. They want to put me on the cover of a magazine. It's super weird, guys. It's a strange.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, opportunities are coming, like even being on your show. Like, I don't take this as any little thing. And I'm not trying to, speak words of flattery, but even being willing, getting approached now, right? Before, 11 years ago, nobody knew who I was. Nobody would think to like approach me and ask me like, would you want to be on a show? So even like being on the show is, it reminds me how grateful I am that I didn't give up. And it makes me want to give back to other people too. And like that message, like whatever you're doing, no matter how hard you think it might be, there's only one rule. Just don't give up. Just keep on going. Don't give up.
That's good.
I was about to say that you hit the key word when you were saying that. I never gave up. I fell down, I had to learn, but I didn't give up, and it shows. Books, comics, movies, and your energy is just like, I love what I'm doing,
and the marketing,
and it shows.
The shirts and everything else. Yeah, that's.
And you learn, you're having fun. Yeah, I'm gonna order that shirt though.
What about Dragon Con? You gonna come to Dragon Con?
So that's actually the thing. So I'm always balancing in my mind time away from our kids, because I know they're only little once. Right. They're only going to be this age once, right? I try to pick them up as much as I can, because in a few years they're not going to want dad to pick them up, and then when they're old adults, it's going to be super weird if dad tries to pick up his adult kid. You know what I mean?
Come here, kid.
You can't be doing that. So I always kind of like in my mind. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That age is going to come soon where she's not going to want me to pick her up in front of her friends. And I understand that, and I get that. And then she's going to be older. I can't be picking her up when she's 21. That's super weird on lots of different levels. So I got this time now. I got this window now. I was listening to a interview between Michael Keaton and Oscar Isaac. And Oscar Isaac was talking to Michael Keaton. Oscar Isaac said, "Hey, I'm finally in a space where my career has taken off and I would feel comfortable taking time off, but I don't know if I should because I've just reached this level." And Michael Keaton tells Oscar Isaac, "Take time off and be with your family. You'll never regret it. Looking back, you'll never regret taking time off and spending more time with your family." So, in a very long way to answer your short question, Chris, I do want to go to Dragon Con. I just have to kind of like weigh how many events and conventions I could do each year. So we were thinking about maybe switching out one of the conventions we would do for next year and replacing it with Dragon Con. So we're hoping to do Dragon Con next year.
Once you go once, it's over. It's like an addiction. It's the first time first taste, you're like, "No, that's pretty cool. I really need that. I need to go back. I really need to go back." That was amazing. Then you get the we call it, if you go to Dragon Con and you do all the days there, then it's like con depression at the end, because it's like everybody's left the hotel, there's nobody around, and you're like,
oh,
what happened? Where is everyone? This isn't right. I want to still have some fun. And then it's over. Then a month later, you're still like, wow, that was really fun, but there's nothing going on anymore. I'm bored. I want to go back. You get con depression.
I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things, and I definitely want to go. I think next year what we'll do is, because we're trying to plan maybe four conventions out of the year that would actually fly to, and the kids will have to stay with grandparents or something like that. Right. But so we did WonderCon, Comic-Con. We went to Florida for a film festival, and then we have Las Vegas later on this year. So we might switch out Las Vegas or Florida for
Which one of the Las Vegas ones are you going to?
Las Vegas, there's a conference called 20 Books to 50K in November.
Yep.
So what we've done in the past is we kind of treat it as an opportunity to do a meetup for our pack, our community of readers. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten about 30 people there before, and we just take them out to eat. We just hang out with them, share memories. We did rent it out a movie theater for them one year. Another year, we did a showing of Infinity System for them. So we do our little meetup, and then also we were asked to speak at 20 Books to 50K. So we'll be speaking there as well.
Is that the same one where they like Amazon is there? They're buying the books and everything else. Yeah, we had the organizer on not too long ago of that.
Was it Craig Bartel?
Yep.
Yeah, Craig is a good guy.
Yep.
I like him. I call him Wild Man.
Yeah. So he was on not too long ago. He's like, "Hey, you guys ought to come out for that." I'm like, "That sounds amazing." Yeah. I mean, it's like that sounds fantastic. I mean, that's amazing. It would be so much fun. So cool to go see all of the authors there, and then kind of see how the writing piece. And we have a lot of writers that are, we have a lot of fan fiction writers and things that follow our show. That how do you break into an industry? How do you, that's kind of the location where you can meet up with some people who are just starting out, or in people who are just kind of already doing it, and meet with the people who publish all the books and the Audible people and everything else are there. So, it's Pete and I we put it on our bucket list to go to that one too. So I think we're going to head to that one. We're hopefully this year, but maybe next year. But
awesome. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it as well. Yeah. It's a good place to network and get to meet some other people in the industry.
Yeah,
we love a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, we love talking to the authors and things like that too, because really, a movie starts with a script. A movie starts with a story. A comic book starts with a script. It all starts with somebody writing down a story or an idea and creating a world. And that starts with the writer. That starts with the person who gets pen and paper. That person takes it out of here and puts it here. So, and that's that's amazing. Those are the people, like yourself, and that's the kind of thing that starts Star Wars. That's the kind of thing that starts huge followings and people's minds expanding and people writing fan fiction about that genre or whatever, that storyline, and creating more storylines behind it. And that's books and writing is essential to where it starts. The writers are so important.
I think it's really cool. I'm going to get super weird with you guys for a minute. So you touched on it before about like how a writer take ideas from his or her mind and put it down on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it a step further, I've always thought about like a writer like getting images that I can see in my mind and not only putting them on the page, but from the page incepting somebody else's mind. Almost like you're moving images from what you see and what you can imagine, putting it into readers' minds.
Right. I mean, it's, and it's audiobooks are the same way and everything else is here. You envision what that person writes, and maybe my vision may be different than somebody else's. Yeah, not by much. I mean, there's usually really good descriptions in most novels, but there's still availability for interpretation. There's still availability for that little tweak or something that you were influenced by how you grow up, where you grow up, people around you. Those things influence your thoughts and your mind, your imagination. So your imagination may be just a slight bit different than somebody else's when you write a book, but it's still there. And like you said, it's going from mind to page to mind. It's almost like a mind meld through a book.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, right? It's crazy when you think about it like
mind. You take a book and smack somebody in the head with it.
The readers are reading it, and they see that mountain that you're trying to tell them. Oh, it looks like that. Okay, I can send it. And
that's not what I envisioned. Cool. I saw it something else.
No, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's what we like. You make that world, and people are following it. That's the best thing. They're seeing your vision and they're enjoying it. Keep doing that.
Keep doing it. That's it.
You're doing it full tilt, man.
And so, what's next? Where are you going next? What's your 5-year vision? What's your everybody always, it's business always like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, so the answer is twofold. One, we'll talk about the forbidden fruit that must be tasted. So my forbidden fruit is I've done books, comic books, movies, TV shows, all this kind of stuff, but I haven't done video games. I'm a big fan of video games, so I'm going to keep on keeping my ear to the ground. I've had some meetings and some interviews to write video games, but nothing's happened yet. But sooner or later, I would like to work on a video game. I think that would be fun. And then as far as where I see myself in like 5 to 10 years, I have been impacted with the idea that I have not been dreaming big enough. Like 11 years ago, I never would have thought that I would be on a Comic-Con panel, that I'd be on a cover of a magazine, that people would be watching our TV show Infinity System. So Infinity System racked up 25,000 views just in the last few weeks on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that. It's amazing.
Right, and I never would have dreamt that. So I keep on telling myself I need to start thinking bigger. I need to start dreaming bigger. So this is where I'm going in 10 years. Do you guys know who Michael Crichton is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Michael Crichton at one time, yes, he had the #1 selling book. It was Timeline. He had the #1 TV show. It was ER, and he had the #1 movie. It was Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. So I thought to myself, wow, all at the same time, #1 TV show, #1 movie, #1 book. That seems out of reach. That seems impossible. I need to do that. So that's where I'm headed in 10 years. Give myself another 10 years, have the #1 movie, #1 TV show, and #1 book.
Yeah. Awesome. That's nothing wrong with that. That's
nothing wrong with that, man.
It can be done.
With your energy, I can see it done.
We're just going to keep on going till the wheels fall off or until I get another, tweak in my back or something like that happens.
Still go.
Take care of myself.
I'll still go. Put him in a wheelchair and wheel him out to the set. We'll go from there. He can still order Starbucks on the phone, as long as you guys say.
Man, that was such a humbling experience on set. So the director, he made the right call. So in the director's defense, this was the right call. He should not have changed anything. But it was like on a Wednesday. We were middle of the day shooting. It was a long day. The crew was tired and dragging. So he's like, hey, what would get like everybody in the right spirit, make everybody feel appreciated, would be doing Starbucks orders. And that's the last thing I wanted to do, guys. I'm not a proud man, but that's the last thing I wanted to do was go around with a notepad asking, the 30 or 40 people we had on set that day, their individual orders. And then one guy, I'm not going to mention anybody's names, but one guy, I was like, okay, what would you like from Starbucks? You guys, he gave me this order that filled up 2 lines worth of text on the pad. Like, I can't remember what it was now, but it was something
low-fat
like,
soy latte with caramel drizzle and I want a venti. It's got to have, goat's milk instead of regular milk. And
latte hydrated
Chris, how
milk.
did you know? That's exactly what he ordered. That was his exact order. So one of the guys did that, and I told him, I looked him dead in the eyes, and I said, I'm not going to write all that down, but if you would like that, if that's what you want, you can write it down. And I handed him the piece
write
of
this
paper
down. I'll go
and
pay
the
for
pencil,
it, but I have no clue what you just said.
And it was 2 lines.
Yeah.
It was 2 lines, like an 8x11 sheet of paper that he wrote for his order. So, anywho,
I'm an English. I'm an
yeah,
English.
Starbucks.
I graduated with English, but I don't speak that one, whatever that is. That's Starbuckese. I don't speak Starbuckese.
What is it? Bones? Isn't it Bones from Star Trek? Who's like, I was an English major, damn it, not a journalist.
Yeah.
Not a delivery boy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I have to learn short script to take a coffee order.
That's it.
Yes, that would be. I can put that on my resume.
Oh my goodness. Well, we want to have you come back when when things start.
Wow.
When you become rich and when you become Michael Crichton, we'll have you
For
come
sure.
back on our little show. Back.
No, 100%.
We've got Michael Crichton on board here, guys. Everybody, check this out. But yeah, we'd love to have you back on, or just whenever your next project comes out, give us a yell, let us know what's going on, so we, keep in touch and everything else. Because once again, it's those tremendous ideas and tremendous stories that people like yourself create. That creates those fandoms, that create those movies, that create, the actors act off of those. So it starts with someone, and it starts with someone like you. So
yes,
no, I appreciate it.
See
If
some
you guys
updates
are
on your filming.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was about to say, if you guys are in Orange County at the end of October, you guys should come out to set. We'll be
cool.
filming.
Awesome.
We have a couple days of fight choreography we're going to be training towards, and then 3 days of principal shooting.
We'd like to hear about that. Anyway, you come on and tell us about how the shooting was, and
of course. Like, I feel like
after it wraps or something. Cool. I mean, there's a lot of NDA stuff that you don't want to talk about, but we can't let that go. But
it's all ready. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like what you're saying before, not only is, these stories come from a writer, but on my point of view, like when I'm sitting down, my signal is only amplified because of people like you guys willing to be able to have me on the show and be so sharing of a community that you've built over the years. Like, it takes all of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes all of us working together.
It takes the fleet. Fans feel the fleet.
That's right.
Fans feel the fleet. Yeah, it does. And I like to highlight it. It's interesting. It's just a great interview. I mean, you have the energy. It's just, wow. I'm gonna have to order some of your books.
I'm surprised I've had kids, and they suck the energy right out of you. I don't know how you have so much energy. I think that's what they're designed to do. Is they like just little energy suckers as you let me do this. Let me do that.
Took all my hair.
This. Yeah.
I have a lot of hair, right, kids.
Oh Lord. But yes, so thanks for coming on. And like I said, keep in touch.
Yeah, of course.
Keep us in touch. And
oh wow.
Here's to you. Fans feel
Here's to you guys with my Viking drinking horn.
There you go.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Take care.
I can see Forsaken Mercenary as a Red Dead Redemption game. That'd be great.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that would be awesome for sure. And everybody with the Forsaken Mercenary Kickstarter, we'd love to have you involved at any tier. Like the most important thing is that we do this together. So if you can jump in at the $5 tier, we would love to have you at the $5 tier. If you can't jump in on that tier and you could just share it, you're part of it too, just by sharing it. You're part of it. Like, we want to do this together. The journey is only as fun as it will be because we did it together. We wouldn't want to take this journey without you.
Right. Can't do it alone.
Right. And what's the name of that website again?
So if you just go to Kickstarter, yeah, and then type in Forsaken Mercenary, it'll pop up, and we'd love to have you involved.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one. Take care. Thank you much. We'll look forward to having you back on again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wow. Wow. That's some good energy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Wow.
Quite amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Quite amazing. So, yeah, it's just
that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and I'm really blown away that he's kind of new to this whole thing. He was saying that was something that was, a couple of years ago he didn't know what a cinematographer, or a year ago or so, he didn't know what a cinematographer was. That's just shows you if you have the drive, if you have the want to do something like a movie or to do a book or a screenplay. Don't let the fear that you don't have enough education or the fear that you don't have enough talent keep you from doing something like that. That's, it's so important because, I'm sure I'm not real knowledgeable in regards to the number of people who have never had, college education to get to become an actor or to become a whatever it may, a cinematographer or whatever else. So, some people started off as grips, or people just start off in the industry, or people who just wrote a great novel or great screenplay, or, and that's, you don't have to go to college for all that. If you have the talent, sometimes it may be just natural. So, don't let, I reach out to all of you out there, all those fans out there that write fan fiction and write everything else. Don't let something like that prevent you from living your dream. Don't let something like that keep you from writing or keep you from, having those images in your mind or screenplays or whatever else. It can be done. I mean, here's proof.
Yes.
Here is proof that it can be done. Here's proof that, that there's a hunger for that kind of information, that kind of talent. So don't fear that you can't do it because you haven't gone to school. That's all I got to say, because there's a lot of people out there that have not gone to school and have done this, and they're doing great at it, and they're loving their lives, and they're loving what they do. So if you love what you do every single day, you never work a day in your life, I think is the saying. So, and that is so true.
You're always happy, always doing it. Yeah.
I love doing what
I do.
Definitely
doing what he enjoys.
Yep.
He's learning it as it goes, and he's a fan, so it shows.
Yeah,
I think
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So, Stargate fan.
He's not doing it for the money.
Pete'll be happy. Pete'll be happy. It's a Stargate fan. Yeah, Lola's like, I have all. Yeah, poor Lola. She says, I have all my rejection letters in a file. And then when you make it big, Lola, you can take those rejection letters out and flaunt them in their face.
Yep. Just be your mind and keep on going.
Yep. Let's see what else we got out there. Mediocre Modeler is, I guess, talking about the Bones reference. This is I'm an author, not a barista. Oh Lord.
You're like, I wonder who made this film we're shooting. Oh, it's the guy that just took your coffee order.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, right.
Nothing wrong with that. That's great. He's helping to go along, so he's got a lot of energy.
And Lola says she still writes. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, keep writing.
No.
Can't hurt, right?
Keep doing what's gonna make you happy. Yeah.
How many authors did we interview on this show that said that they just continuously write? Maybe that one thing gets picked up that one time, but there's a lot of authors that have told us you only get better by doing what you love. So over and over and over again. If you've got, Lola, you got all those rejection letters, you're still practicing, let's say. That's part of your building of your repertoire. You're getting to that point where you make more and more and more stories. Do I need to move you around, John? You're kind of...
No, I think the beer's kicking in.
Where's my rum kicking in? Rum's kicking in.
Yeah.
John, are you steady or am I not? Yeah. I don't hear the Daggett tonight, which is really strange.
Yes, they have. Yeah, I gave them some nice calming pills. They're very happy now. I tried them out today all day. So. They're like, oh, it's hot out there. I ran them to go for a walk, and ran around with them. So
calming pills? You?
Yeah, my wife bought some CBD pills. I'm like, what is this for dogs? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, it works. They're quiet. They're calm.
Oh, we have to give those to our. We have a spastic lab who when it thunderstorms, if you don't give them some of that, that's going to be a heart attack because it's trying to climb underneath the couch. So.
Yeah, I learned that the hard one night.
What is the dog doing? It's trying to get under the couch. So, hey, you still have your news, right? I just gotta find it.
Yes, I have an abridged news here. Yeah. So
hang on, give me a second. Let me pull it up while we're sitting here. I gotta
a little bit.
I gotta tell you, you set all of these. If you could only see behind the scenes back here with all of the stuff I have set up, and then Pete disappears and somebody new comes on, you're like, I haven't set that up yet. So I got to go back through and I spent like 45 minutes this evening trying to set up all of the stuff, and then once again I still didn't get done. But you try to set up everything to where everybody's what they need to be at, and just like this, I finally found it, and now I got to go to here, and I got to go right click that, and I got to hit slideshow settings, and I got to move that over here, and then I can do this, and then we have John ready to go. I hope I have the right one. So now it's time. Wait a minute. We need some kind of, we don't have a drum roll or, man, we suck at having intro music for stuff, Yeah. I was like,
John. Intro music. Typewriters tapping in the background.
Welcome to John1 News Anchor.
It's set sales August 11th. Yeah, it's
finally coming out.
Yep, August 11th coming out. There's some good actors in it. It's about the voyage from Dracula from Romania to England. So, and what happens on that ship? They all disappear. When the boat comes in, there's no one alive in the boat. So we know the ending. We just don't know what happened.
Was this an actual boat, or is this just a good screenplay?
It's just
a book. I mean,
it's based on Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay, but it wasn't like they didn't actually lose a ship called Demeter.
No. The name of the Demeter was the boat that brought him over there. So, and then it was in London and no one's alive. So they wonder what happens. So this is the story. What happens? Apple Plus just released Invasion 2, and just recently they said they're gonna stop indefinitely.
What? Yeah, I just started this because I just got Apple Plus because I loved Silo, and so I got Apple Plus just for Silo. That was the only reason why I got Apple Plus. So
Silo just came out saying that they stopped indefinitely. Silo 2. Silo, they said that.
What?
I just read it on the news thing. Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No, I just saw it on Screen Rant. Silo. I was like, what? Why? It
was pretty fantastic. Popular. I thought it was popular. Oh my gosh! All right, Apple TV's getting canceled.
I mean,
how dare you cancel my show? I'll cancel you. I'll show you. All right, sorry. What else we got?
Well, what else we have? There's a new series on Good Omens 2, which came out on the 26th, second season.
Yep, I just started that. Have you started watching it yet?
I just started watching it. I'm actually watching the first episode now, the first season. I haven't watched it, but it's on my back burner. So I think I got about.
I think I'm 3 episodes in. It's okay.
How do you
Terry
like
Pratchett. It's good. It's definitely a Terry Pratchett style, comedy style. It's pretty good. I like it. I like the first one really good. This one, I don't know if this one's better than the second or the first season. I want to say it's comparable. It's pretty good. I'll leave that one up to Tara to do the thumbs up, thumbs down thing, but I seem to like it. What next is my favorite.
Let's see, what is it? Dark Wind season. Yeah, that came out Sunday. So the second season of the show was really good on AMC. The actors are really great. It's about a Native American police force, a sheriff, and deals with some weird things, some robberies, but it's good storylines.
Yeah, it's Hildebrand. I can't read the book author for these. I've got a couple of the audiobooks, and they're fantastic.
He makes some good stories.
Yeah, he writes some great stories, and Chi and all of the characters in the show really match up well with the books because, of course, the books came first. But and this is kind of like this is kind of like one of my very few non-sci-fi things that I'm really, really into. I really love this show, and it's just the tribal law enforcement piece, and that I've been able to, I've been given the opportunity to go visit the actual tribal law enforcement and talk to them and everything like that in my current job, and just some fantastic people, faced with some insurmountable problems.
It's different on the res.
Yeah.
It's very different on the res.
It's like, good Lord. So, but, and they do a really good job in the books. Tony Hillerman. Thank you, Fran. Tony Hillerman. It does a really good job in the books and really does a fantastic way of, putting you in that
position. You understand what they're going through and seeing what they have to deal with.
So if you haven't had a chance to watch Dark Winds season 1,
I'd watch it.
Now I'm going to cancel my Apple TV Plus because they canceled Silo, so they can kiss my and now I'm going to go over and get AMC Plus or AMC and watch Dark Winds, so I can do that. You don't have to do the same thing. There's some Apple TV Plus people, but the only reason why I got Apple TV was Silo. So now if they're going to cancel Silo, I'm out.
Yeah, I know why they're definitely for. I was like, all right, whatever. And I just read that before. I put the whole report on when I read it. I just read it today. So it's a Geek Time and a Screen Rant. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Why? But
yeah.
I don't know. But you go to Peacock and you can watch a new series of Twisted Metal, based on the TV show. The video game.
Oh, okay.
It's based on a video game where you're in a foreign land and you have a clown that starts killing people in the vehicles. It's if you like comedy with your murder, it's a good series.
Well, that's an easy way to bring in the next one.
Yeah. And this one, Harley Quinn
comedy
season
and
4.
murder.
Yeah. It's pretty good series. It's pretty adult. I was like thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a regular cartoon. You kids get out of this room. You can't watch this series.
Looking at that picture, it looks adult.
Yeah. It's very adult this season.
Oh, wow.
You're like, oh, boy. Very adult.
I actually have Max. I might have to check that out. But
Max is pretty good.
It's a very adult picture there, by the way. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Nobody needs to comment in the comments about what that looks like or anything.
They're really blasting off.
Oh, and John went there. Yes, of course.
Thank you. See? Couple beers before the show, and I really come out of my shell.
There we go. Just let it all hang out. Yeah. And go ahead.
Max is pretty good. Yeah, that's Max. And let's see what else is season 4. And the last 2 episodes of Star Trek were pretty good. He had like the boomer, the episode that was pretty funny.
Yeah, this was one of my, I think one of the better ones. I really do like Boimler. That's the right word.
Boiler and Boomer. Yeah, Mara.
Yeah.
It was funny seeing
they
Spock
did great. Yeah, they really did a good job in that one. So
and they perfectly combined it with Lower Decks. Some of the seasons.
They did a good job. And Lower Decks is coming out with a new series.
They're actually coming out in what's it? I think it's coming out in September. The new season's coming out September 9th, something like that.
Yeah,
so it's pretty good. And the last episode was really great too. The Klingon War.
That was the acting in the last episode.
Wow.
The Klingon that acted. I don't know who the name of the actor is. Robert will probably help us out there in a minute. But the actor in that last episode that played the Klingon. Wow. That was tremendous acting. I mean, I was watching. I was like, man, I really believe this guy's a Klingon. I really believe this guy is well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Yeah, but he's like, wow, he did a great job. And then, but I want to say, for this episode here, for the crossover, I would think that a crossover between a animated series and a regular series would have just been horrific.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait a minute.
This was really good. They did a really good job at it. So I think they really got something going on.
Yeah, this series is really good. There's some really good series episodes that really get you thinking. Like, wow, and then you start laughing. And today I was halfway watching today's episode. I'm like, you just need to see it. That's a whole new episode.
Oh, we have a new episode out now?
Yeah,
oh, the musical. That's right. I remember seeing the
musical.
Oh, those never go well. I have to watch that one and see how bad that one really is.
I'm still getting through it. But then they also say there's going to be another crossover with Captain Archer as in one of these episodes from the Enterprise.
That would be
Scott
cool.
Bakula.
I really did love Enterprise. Enterprise was a really good
movie
or a good show. I think Enterprise was not appreciated as much as it should have been. Kind of like a couple of my other favorite shows, like Defiance. 3 seasons or 4 seasons, and nobody cosplays that. Nobody sells any stuff for that. It's just like it didn't exist. I'm like, really? It was fantastic science fiction. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's based on the game. It was good.
But there you go.
It's like Space Above and Beyond, so many.
Yep. Space Above and Beyond. That's another one that was just not appreciated as much as it should have been. And I'm sure there's others too. Babylon 5 was good, but was not appreciated much. Go ahead.
Michael Straczynski just got picked up for Dark Horse to write comics. The creator.
I'm gonna have to put that on my list of new comics to get.
And the animated series is coming out. The movie should be out soon. So, Babylon 5.
Yeah, he just mentioned that on his. If you follow him on Facebook, he's always mentioning stuff that's going on, and Twitter, I think, is is it Twitter now or is it X? I don't even know anymore.
Oh.
Are we Xing? Are we Twittering? Are we tweeting? Are we twitching? Or I don't know.
And the conspiracy theory is already coming out about his new symbol. Like, oh, Masons, I don't see it, but whatever.
Whatever. Goodness.
And Oppenheimer. Have you seen Oppenheimer yet?
I did go to see Oppenheimer, and I saw it at the Alamo here, up the street, not too far from me in Woodbridge in DC area. And I've never been to the Alamo, and there's a bunch of them around the country. If you get a chance to go at least once. But it's like,
I hear they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got the reclining chairs. And if you fall asleep during movies, it's not the place to go to, because you will fall asleep in those chairs because they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
And then of course you get alcohol delivered to you there. You just push the button and you write down whatever you want, or food. It's a brew and food and everything else you could order, and they come by and deliver it and everything else. And I could not believe how strict they are with cell phone usage and talking. They will ban you for life if you pick up your cell phone and it lights up in there. They'll come and tell you, look, you need to get out, and they have no tolerance for it whatsoever. I was like, wow. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And if you pick up your phone, or if you try to reach over and talk to somebody, nope, they're on top of you at that point. It's pretty, but it's nice because, yeah, it's a now. They enforce the rules where you're not stuck in a theater where somebody's yapping up a storm, or somebody's pulling out their cell phone and it's lighting up the area.
You're enjoying the movie. You're way in the back seats and you're looking at your movie, and someone way down there puts the phone up there. You're like,
it's like, there's somebody lit up a sun down there.
Yeah, you're ruining my movie.
Yeah, and then Robert said they're also strict in regards to if you enter more than 10 minutes after the film begins. Yes, they won't let you come. They actually tell you, be here 30 minutes before the film starts. So, but I can say also in the theater that I went to, it's not an IMAX. Like, it's not like one of the huge IMAX things, but the stereo system. I watched Oppenheimer there, and it was blowing my hair. What little I have left, the booms from the Oppenheimer, you could feel it blowing through your hair and vibrating the seats and everything else. And we're not talking seats that were built to vibrate. The stereo system in there was that loud when the explosions hit, you're like, whoa,
Wow.
that's amazing. But yeah, I watched Oppenheimer. It was pretty good. It was a long film. And then it was very educational, I think. I didn't know. And then there's a couple of people that say, oh, there's a couple of things that they took liberties on, but still. I learned more during that film about that than I didn't know anything about it as much as I thought I did until I watched the film, and I was like, wow, it's pretty cool. I mean, a lot of information there. So, and then a friend of mine went to go see the Barbie movie. So, no, thanks. Anyways, yeah.
I might wait to see it on TV. So
yeah, I might watch it on TV, but no.
Secret shame viewings. By the way, they were saying there's something like $1,000 to watch the 70 millimeter reel on IMAX. Someone was saying that there were tickets on eBay for $1,000 to see that. Like, why go see that? Yeah, I read a report that they were paying on eBay $1,000 to see it in the 70 millimeter. I guess they're showing it like certain different millimeters, and like the 70 millimeter is like 25 miles long if you roll it out.
Oh my gosh. Mediocre asks, the Alamo had some pretty good pre-movie shows, especially on themes of movies. Yeah, they did. They actually had some really good, for the Oppenheimer, they had some, like behind, like historical video running on the Oppenheimer. So it was really good. Robert's asking me, is the Alamo you went to the one where they had some films playing that haven't played on screen for, yeah. So they have some films that don't play on screen for years. And then put there, so it's a great little place. I mean, it is what it is, but it was
different to experience.
It was a great experience when it come down to Oppenheimer. I haven't been to. That's probably the first movie I've been to in prior to COVID.
I would say the same. Yeah, actually, no. I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is actually streaming on Disney Plus now. That's how it came out yesterday.
I stumbled across Disney Plus's Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, I thought the Star Wars Christmas was the thing, but Guardian of the Galaxy Christmas one.
Wow. The only thing that was funny was Kevin Bacon screaming. that was a highlight.
Yes, kidnapped Kevin Bacon. It's like, oh my gosh, amazing.
That was pretty funny.
And that was pretty funny. That's on Disney Plus too. If you use code IFB, we'll get a kickback. Just kidding. We don't do that. So, yeah.
And next week, was it August 18th? It'll be DC's Blue Beetle coming out in theaters. Now, DC, I don't know. I think this Blue Beetle is going to smash on the windshield. Yeah, the Blue Beetle comic.
I guess I'm thinking the Tick. Sorry.
No, it's different. He's like the space tech takes care of this young man, and he has like special powers, and he's trying to deal with it. So it's like a DC comic. It was a cartoon for a while, but DC is really struggling with their movies. I mean, they don't think it's going to project that much. DC, Batman animated series, bring that to life. People will watch that. The Peacemaker, even Superman, the animated tales, bring that stuff back to real life. People will watch it, and you have your animated film. That's your moneymaker.
What's your favorite DC film then? What DC character that's on a film? Wasn't
I like Batman. And I also like Peacemaker. He's the way they film was pretty funny.
Yeah. Was Judge Dredd DC?
Judge Dredd was Vertigo.
Marvel? Oh, Vertigo?
Vertigo, yeah.
He was never DC or Marvel? I think he was DC or Marvel.
Was he? I think he was in Marvel. No, Judge Dredd was Marvel for a while. I'm not that sure, so I'm not trying to correct me, but
I can't think of a Marvel. DC.
You have Green Lantern.
Oh,
I like Green Lantern.
No. Please no.
Not the movie. I like the comic. Not the Hal Jordan, the other guy. The tough guy, the tough Marine guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I probably would say the Wonder Woman's DC, so I think probably Wonder Woman, not 1984. But the original Wonder Woman was pretty good.
I like the bad guy villains in DC more than I probably do like the heroes. Black Manta, Lex Luthor, Solomon Grundy.
Robert's like, not the Stallone Judge Dredd. I'll take it. I'll take it.
The other one was good with the Keith Urban one. They might be making they think they're gonna make a preview to that one too. Second one movie that so good.
Aquaman.
That was pretty gritty.
Robert Baum says Aquaman.
Glug glug. Please.
Wrong one.
Aquaman. But they're coming out in December. Aquaman. Part 2.
Part 2 or part 3? Isn't there a third one? Isn't that Momoa?
Aquaman 2 is coming out, I think, in December. Yeah, that's going to be Aquaman 2.
But there was already a 2. Maybe it was just so bad I thought it was 2 to begin with.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
It was okay. It was okay.
Second one.
Okay. We'll see.
Right. Not much you can do in the water. That's an age-old fight. What can Aquaman do? What can, Aquaman, who was the other guy? The other merman?
No, they need to come out with Wonder Twins.
Oh, they are.
Oh shit!
They are coming out with a Wonder Twins series on HBO Max.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, one turns into an animal, the other one turns into water. What?
Yeah.
Why?
Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of steam. Shape of
turn into a dog
an eagle.
Turn into a dog in a puddle of water and see if you gets wet.
And the pail just shows up out of nowhere. Now, where'd the pail come from? You turned into water, not a pail of water.
Yeah, the pail always follow him around. Take it out of his pocket.
Kind of keep that in a pocket, yeah. Disposable pail.
We should have like one of those series where we have like that's that series where they watch the TV, the bad movies. We should have a special episode one night where we put these cartoons on and we can
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Mystery Science Theater.
Yes.
We should do that for
one of
these
my
old cartoons.
Favorite shows. Yeah. If you don't follow them on Twitch, they live stream every day on Twitch. Well, they'll live stream one of the shows every day. They're not really on live at that point, but they'll show one of the movies there all the time. Fantastic! I love Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's a great show. That's pretty funny.
And then we would always, when I was working with another group of people down in another location, we would always have bad movie days every week, every other weekend or so, like one weekend a month. Oh, there's give him a Twinkie. He's probably suffering from his gummies. Now he needs food.
He's having a relapse.
Once a month we would always do the bad movies. I think that's what I think me and Mediocre Modeler squirreled on bad movies last time around. So
we'd look it up and we'd watch the movies like, oh man, this is pretty hilarious.
And there was
Bad Sheep.
I'm gonna squirrel on this one too.
Zombie beavers.
Zombievers, yes. Zombievers. It had a cool little tune to it, by the way, too. And then, of course, Hobo with a Shotgun. And then, Rubber, the telepathic tire that blows up your head. It was amazing movies.
So many great B movies.
But if those can make it, why not, right? You can make a bad B movie like that and people watch it. Look, Ray Liotta did his final movie of his life was Cocaine Bear. So, come on. Yeah. And then now that actually it was on the news the other day that they're talking about, and the joke was the next movie was going to be Cocaine Shark.
Cocaine Shark.
And swear to God, the other day on the news, I was watching the news and they were talking about sharks that had eaten things of cocaine. I was like, in real life, I'm like, oh, come on. This has got to be a lead up to the new movie. Nope. It was
True thing.
Cocaine Sharks. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's why they come on the beaches. They got the munchies. They got to eat.
Oh, yeah. Look, snacks.
Yeah. Cocaine was good. I got really hungry.
Dog's like, whoa, snacks.
She's like, Yep. She's driving me crazy today. Red dog. Come over here.
Woof. What kind of dog is it?
It's a Kerry Blue. Kerry Blue Terrier.
It's not a Muffet?
No.
It's not a monkey in an outfit? No. Paul's like, holy daggit.
She's like a period with white teeth that bite you all the time.
Yeah. Mediocre says, somebody give that dog some more pot.
The product's called Fin, people. If you want to use it, it works pretty good.
I don't remember what we
out over there.
I don't remember what one we give our dog, but it calms them down pretty good. Or they just to the point where they don't care anymore. Thunderstorm?
Yeah, this is like.
Who cares?
Oh, the minions are home now. That's why they're barking at them. So, nice and quiet now. They're telling them to be quiet. It's quiet time. They're tired.
Evie the Muffet, yeah, Paul Rutter, yeah. We tried to get a hold of. I actually reached out to the animal trainer that actually did Evie, and we actually exchanged some emails back and forth with him, but we never got to the point where he would come on the show. So I can't remember the name of the company that did those, but we were gonna try to get him on the show, but that kind of fell through. Boonar, there you go, Robert. See, look at that. We got great fans. They read our minds and just bam, 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 bam. So cool. So
yes, that's it for this.
That's about it for this episode. So I mean, next week we'll get back to the comic. We'll wait that back to the comics, back to the Folly of the Gods next week, and hopefully everything's good with Pete and everything. Go ahead.
Hopefully, yes. And Loki season 2 is coming out October 6th.
Really?
For Loki on Disney Plus. Yep, October 6th is coming out.
I remember
Ahsoka's coming on end of the month.
Yeah, I remember when Loki came out. My daughter and I, would go to Dragon Con, and then at Dragon Con we invented a game. That year when Loki came out, we called it Punch Loki. So anybody dressed up with Loki, you would like slug bug. Bam. So whoever saw it first got to slug the other person. So we had Slug Loki. But it's dwindled down. Before the year before that, it was it's the Daddy's girl, Joker's girlfriend.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn,
yeah.
Yeah. So we had Slug Harley Quinn the year before that one. I don't know what. I wonder what the popular one's going to be this year. I don't know.
Maybe it's Gamora. I'd say Gamora or maybe Barbie. Oh, there's going to be Barbie in the Comic Cons.
Yep. We're going to do Slug Barbie. Everybody's coming. Slug Barbie. It's the game. So.
Here comes Barbie.
But y'all, thanks for hanging out with us. It's that time of the night again, and we got moving out of the transmission range as we cruise past in the Base Star and the Battle Star. In our case, it's the Base Star because we're just two wild and crazy Cylons. Because we ain't got no colonial.
No strings attached. No colonials bothering us or chasing us. Or
we got
trying to blow us up.
Yep. So those colonials, just whatever.
See how much fun we had?
Yeah, that's right. So thanks for joining us. We really look forward to seeing most of you at Dragon Con or seeing you next week again. And we're still working on the Stranded Warrior. It's coming along really well. We've got the trailer put together pretty good. Pulling the green screen for the trailer hopefully before Dragon Con, so we can show that. And then I just resent the trailer back out for music. So Dorian Keyes is working on the music on it. And then we actually had a guy volunteer to go through all of our audio who works as an actual audio engineer.
Oh, wow.
So, yep. We'll put his information up later, but yeah, he actually has done mixing for Taylor Swift and some other really big stars. So he's going to take our audio and clean it up for us, which was amazing.
I had a lot of good things about the special effects, the green screen. They're doing an awesome job, from what I understand.
Yeah, the special effects
look pretty cool.
Yeah, always. So we're really excited about that. And if you haven't had a chance, don't forget to follow us. Facebook, YouTube. I guess I got to get rid of Twitter now. I'm going to put an X there, right? Yeah, is it no longer Twitter? Is it still Twitter or not? I don't even know. So, and then of course, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Surprised we don't have anything else. We probably should look at the other ones, I guess, nowadays. There's so many of them. But if you get a chance, check those out. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're on Facebook right now, you haven't hit, go up top and just hit the like button just in case, and the follow button just in case, because many people who are on our show every week in the comments in the background are not really following us, believe it or not. So it just happens. I get it. It is confusing. I probably need to put a video together on how to determine if you're watching or if you're following the things that you want to follow. Because I have to look it up online because it's just kind of convoluted to find out who invited you, where that invite sits. It's like 3 menus back underneath something else. But yeah, X
give us thumbs up.
Yep, Trey's like X is like IHOP when it became IHOB, International House of Burgers.
International House of Burgers. Yeah, IHOP. Well, that International House of Pancakes now.
Yep, that's good stuff. All right, everybody. Thanks, John, for filling in for Pete. And Pete, if you're out there listening, take care.
I hope
everything goes well. Go ahead.
Hope I did well, guys. Hope I did
good. Did great, and we always have a good time.
Enjoyable.
Great interview. That was fantastic. It's always good to hear, how somebody just kind of created their own niche and jumped into it with 2 feet. From becoming an enterprise worker, an enterprise rent-a-car worker, to multi wins in different competitions for his movies and books and everything else. So
movie comic book maker. I'm going to get some of his comics. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know he did comics. I have to check that one out.
Yeah, you get the shirt. You got a sweatshirt there. Yeah. A nice shirt to buy. So,
and then the way you describe the pack, and kind of the same way we describe the fleet. So it's not an individual effort. It's always a group effort because, like we say always, and we'll say it again before we leave tonight, the fans fuel the fleet. So
fans fuel the fleet.
So everybody, thanks a lot for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday. Take care.
Ooh. Wow.